Hello children, I am Ansari Parveen and today we will study Science 2 lesson number 8, that is useful and harmful microorganisms. So are you ready? What is meant by microbes and what are their characteristics? So microbes are very small microorganisms which we cannot see by our eyes. They are living organisms. In what way are they related to our everyday life? Do we have any relation with them? Yes, sometimes they are useful to us and sometimes they are harmful to us. So first useful one is lactobacilli. Smear a drop of curd over this covers over a slide and put a cover slip on it. What you can observe some rod shaped bacteria, and we are observing it under the power of 60x. Why? Because it will magnify the bacteria into 6 times. If it is 1 millimeter, it will become 6 millimeter. So these rod shaped bacteria are called lactobacilli. They are minute and rectangular in shape. Lactobacilli are anaerobic bacteria, means they don't need oxygen. They can reproduce without the use of oxygen. How is yogurt made from milk? Do you know what exactly happens in this process? So in milk there is a sugar called lactose, and that lactose sugar is converted into lactic acid by the process of fermentation. So conversion of lactose into lactic acid is called fermentation. So during this process, what happens? The bacteria, they multiply. As a result, the pH of milk decrease, causing coagulation of milk protein. What is coagulation? Curdling of milk. The milk becomes the curd lumps, small lumps. That is called coagulation. This is what happens when milk changes into yogurt. Yogurt has a specific sour taste. Why? Because it has lactic acid in it. And acid is there, so pH will be less. Why do doctors advise you to have yogurt or buttermilk? Because it contains the useful bacteria, that is lactobacilli. They advise during discomfort also. Sometimes yogurts become very sour, very bitter and froths up. Why? Because the bacteria have grown into large numbers. Now it is not good for health. Which different milk products are obtained at home? The different milk products which are obtained at home are ghee, butter, paneer. What is meant by probiotic yogurt? Probiotic yogurt is a yogurt in which useful lactobacilli are added. Such eatables are healthy because they kill the harmful bacteria. Like Clostridium. Clostridium is a harmful bacteria which lives in the alimentary canal of human being. Various milk products like yogurt, buttermilk, ghee, cheese, Shrikhand, etc. can be obtained from fermentation of milk. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful for large scale production of cider, cocoa, pickles of vegetables, etc. Lactobacilli and some other useful microbes taken together are used to treat abdominal discomfort. If there is discomfort, we can take lactobacilli. Leavened fodder offered to domestic cattle like cows and buffaloes are also made with the help of lactobacilli by the process of fermentation. The lactobacilli fermentation process is used to make wine and some types of bread. How many different industries depend upon the lactobacilli bacteria? So the cheese, ghee, butter, milk, all these industries depend upon lactobacilli bacteria. Now another useful bacteria is yeast. Take a spoonful of yeast and 2 spoonful of sugar. Mix it in lukewarm water and keep it in the bottle. Now place a balloon over it, transparent balloon. What will happen? The gas will come out from the bottle and the balloon will get inflated. Why? From where the gas has come, the bacteria, they multiply and they release carbon dioxide. So because of that carbon dioxide, the balloon gets inflated. Now collect that lime water into a petri dish. What do you notice? Take a drop of the solution from the bottle on a glass slide. Now put a cover slip. Now observe it under microscope. What you will see? You will see some circular disc-like bacteria. These are oval cells. These are nothing but yeast. And some cells will have another small bodies around them. What are those small bodies? They are the new baby cells, the growing cells. The cells of yeast, they grow by the method of budding. So the new cells are attached to the bigger cell. Yeast is a heterotrophic fungal microbe that grows on carbon compound. The sugar is nothing but carbon compound. So sugar helps the yeast to grow. Yeast is a unicellular fungus with 1500 different species. Means there are many type of yeast. The yeast cells is a eukaryotic. It means it contains nucleus. Yeast grows and multiplies due to carbon compound in the sugar solution. In the process of obtaining nutrition, yeast cells convert the carbohydrate, that is the carbon compound, into alcohol and carbon dioxide. And because of this carbon dioxide only the balloon inflated. This is called fermentation. How bread is made? So we can use this yeast and mix it into bread, and the bread will be made. For making pav also we can take yeast, and in the dough we'll make the yeast and the pav will rise. Often alcohol is also produced with the help of yeast in sugar factories. Molasses, this substance is called molasses. It is also produced from sugar cane. It is also rich in carbohydrate. Molasses is fermented with a special kind of yeast that is called Saccharomyces. It is a name of a yeast. In this process, ethanol alcohol is produced as a primary product. So whenever yeast produce something, alcohol and carbon dioxide are produced. Spirit and other alcohols can be obtained from ethanol. First ethanol is prepared and then from that spirit is obtained. And ethanol is also smokeless and high quality fuel. That's why nowadays government has made it compulsory to mix ethanol in the fuel. Glucose and fructose present in the sugar are fermented with the help of yeast. A yeast called Yerubia is used to absorb toxins. What are toxins? They are harmful substances. And from where to get this yeast? It is released during the production of palm oil. Big cargo ships, when they transport goods from ocean, so they use oil as their fuel. So they drop that oil from their engine into the ocean. So in order to clean that oil, alkali borax bacteria are used. Now children, let's study another bacteria, that is Rhizobium. It is a symbiotic bacteria. For Rhizobium, take a plantlet of fenugreek, groundnut or any other bean and sterilize it with a 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is easily available in the market, and sterilize means you have to make it clean. Afterwards, keep it in a 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Clean the roots with sterile water. Again, sterile water means the water which will not allow any bacteria to grow in that. And take thin section of the root nodules. Now you have to keep that section in the safranin solution for 2 to 3 minutes. Why we are keeping in safranin? Because safranin will give it pink color or orange color. Place the stand section, the section which we have kept in the safranin, that section you have to place the glass slide, cover it with the cover slip, and now we will observe it on the microscope. So the pinkish rod shaped organism are the Rhizobium bacteria. Now children, just think that to obtain this Rhizobium we had to search for the root nodules of leguminous plant. Why we didn't get it anywhere else? Because they live in the root nodules of leguminous plant. Why they live there? Because they are symbiotic bacteria. So when they live in the root nodules of leguminous plant, they get carbohydrate from the plant. And they give, Rhizobium gives nitrates, nitrites and amino acids to the plant. So it is a give and take relationship. So this is called symbiotic bacteria. This is the reason why beans and pulses are rich in protein, because protein is made up of nitrogen. After harvesting a leguminous crop, the leftover roots and other plants are dumped into the soil again. Why? So that the bacteria which was there in the root, it will remain in the soil. So this the use of Rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers. So we don't need to use chemical fertilizer because Rhizobium is doing what the work we want from the plant. They are producing good amount of protein, and thereby their adverse effect, chemical fertilizers are having adverse effects, so that effects can be cancelled. It has also helped the reduce expenses on fertilizers, because the chemical fertilizers we have to purchase, and Rhizobium, they are bacteria, we don't have to purchase them. Nowadays seeds, they are already coated with rhizobial solution and they are sown. So when the plant grows, this rhizobial solution, it will help the rhizobium to grow, and because of this, what will happen, the plant will be rich in nitrogen. This process is called rhizobial inoculation. Children, whenever you are ill, you are having discomfort in your stomach or headache, you must have taken antibiotics given by doctor. Do you know how these antibiotics are made? They are the carbon compounds obtained from the bacteria or fungus for destroying or preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms. These are antibiotics. Now these antibiotics can be of broad spectrum antibiotics or narrow spectrum. Broad spectrum means one antibiotic which can kill many kinds of bacteria, and narrow spectrum is it can kill only a particular kind of bacteria. Broad spectrum antibiotic examples are amoxicillin, ampicillin, tetracycline, and narrow spectrum antibiotics examples are penicillin. Whenever there are symptoms of some disease, but we don't know which pathogen it is causing, so in that case broad spectrum antibiotics are used, and when we know that this disease is due to this pathogen, then we use narrow spectrum antibiotic like penicillin, gentamicin, erythromycin, etc. Now let's study penicillin, an antibiotic. Penicillin is a group of antibiotics obtained from a fungus. Penicillin is used for controlling the infections caused by bacteria like Staphylococci, Clostridia, Streptococci, etc. Medicines containing penicillin are used to treat certain bacterial infections of the ear, nose, throat and skin, as well as disease like pneumonia and scarlet fever. Means some chemical compound obtained from fungus is used to kill bacteria. Children, there are some cautions, the precautions which should be taken while taking antibiotic. Antibiotics should never be taken without prescription of a doctor, and don't purchase any antibiotic from medical stores without prescription. Don't consume any antibiotic on your own to treat common diseases like throat infection, common cold or influenza. Even if you feel well before completing the prescribed course, you must not discontinue the use. You should complete the course suggested by the doctor, and don't suggest to others the antibiotics which are useful to you. Don't say yes, it is useful to me, you also take this, you will be okay. It should not be done. Now let's study some harmful microorganisms. So the first harmful microorganism is fungi. You must have seen that feather article or wooden article, they get white color, something powder like on their surface. Now what is that? It is nothing but the fungus which grow. Fungus does not grow in summer or winter season. It mainly grows in rainy season because it gets moisture. The fungal hyphae penetrate deep into the material to obtain nutrition and to reproduce, and this causes the material to become weak. As a result, gunny bags, leather items like shoes, purses, belts, etc., on which the fungus have grown do not last long. They become weak and they get spoiled. Sometimes you may notice a black powder or white disk floating on the pickle or murabba when a jar is opened after a long time. What exactly is this? Why are such food items not good to eat? Because various species of fungi grow on food items like pickle and murabba, jam, sauce, chutney. So they use the nutrients in these food items for growth and reproduction. And during all this reproduction and growth, they release a harmful substance called mycotoxin. This substance is poisonous into the food it is released. Now if you eat this food, it will be harmful to you and you will get disease. So you should avoid using such food items. Sometimes causes of food poisoning occur during community feast. How does the food become poisonous all of a sudden? The bacteria which spoil cooked food are Clostridium. Out of about 100 different species of this bacterium, some are free living in the soil. They are found in the soil, whereas some live in the alimentary canal of human and other animals. These bacteria are rod-shaped. These Clostridium are rod-shaped and they produce bottle-shaped endospores in adverse conditions. One special characteristic of these bacteria is that they cannot withstand normal oxygen level of the air because they grow in anaerobic condition. They grow without oxygen. Bacteria, virus, fungi, and protozoa are some other organisms which cause different diseases. These diseases, their mode of infection, and the type of pathogen are given in the following tables. So the diseases name, pathogen name, mode of infection, and preventive measures are given. Pathogen means any microorganism which causes disease are called pathogen. AIDS, it is caused by virus through blood and semen of infected person and milk of mother suffering from AIDS. Preventive measures: safe sexual contact, avoid reuse of needles and injection. Hepatitis, it is caused by virus. Mode of infection is contaminated water and food. Preventive measures are clean and filtered water, proper storage of food. Next disease is influenza. It is also caused by virus. It is spreads by contact with infected person, and mode of preventive measure is personal hygiene and avoiding contact with infected person. Next disease is measles and chickenpox. Pathogen is virus. Mode of infection is contact with infected person. Preventive measures are vaccination, uncontaminated water, and clean food. Next disease is bird flu or swine flu. It is also caused by virus, and mode of infection is contact with infected birds and animals. Personal hygiene, properly cooked meat can prevent you. Dengue, it is caused by virus. Mode of infection is mosquito bite, and preventive measure is cleanliness of surrounding, preventing stagnation of water, that is collection of water at one place, and mosquito control. Next disease is malaria caused by protozoa. Mode of infection is mosquito bite, unclean surrounding, and preventive measure is cleanliness of surrounding, preventing stagnation of water, controlling mosquitoes. Next is dandruff, ringworm, scabies caused by fungi. How to avoid? Avoid contact with infected person or belonging of that person. And how to prevent? Personal hygiene, avoiding contact with infected person. Next is pneumonia caused by bacteria. Mode of infection: droplets spread in air by infected person. Preventive measure is vaccination, avoiding contact with infected person. Leprosy caused by bacteria. Long term contact with infected person, avoiding contact with infected person and their belongings. Next disease is cholera caused by bacteria. Mode of infection is contaminated food and water, and preventive measure is use clean food and water. That's all from useful and harmful bacteria. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.